gentlemen, welcome to the Millionaire Purpose Discovery Program. My name is Blessing Theophilus Israel. Now, I'm so excited to be speaking with Mervyn today, Mervyn Barrett. Mervyn is a coach, but a different type of coach. Mervyn, what kind of coaching do you offer, please?
I'm an inevitability coach, Blessing. Inevitability.
Excellent. Mervyn, what does that mean, please?
Well, the way that I'm using that word, everybody in the world, whenever they're doing anything, they're looking to work with their inner and outer game. Well, I help people to structure the inner and outer game in a cohesive and coherent manner. When you have inner and outer alignments, that is when you take your most positive action. And action always leads to results.
Okay.
So when you've got cohesiveness and coherence inside, that means you have an agreement with yourself. The action you take will give the results that you want. So in other words, I help people to make the results they want in their life inevitable.
Wow, I like that.
Wow.
I really like that. So, Mervyn, how did you get to know that this is what you're meant to be doing? Because I understand you've got years of teaching experience.
Absolutely.
So, describe the process that you've taken from being a teacher and now being a coach. How did you get to know that this is actually your purpose and what you're meant to be doing, please?
It was probably through lots of, in fact, when I say probably, it was definitely through failure.
Okay.
I remember leaving school at 16, many moons ago, with no qualifications. In my worst subject, the one that I failed completely was maths. And then several years later, I end up being a math teacher.
Wow.
So it just shows that anything is possible.
Yes.
Failure is overrated as something that holds people back. We overrate failure. It's not even failure, it's feedback.
Wow.
It's just telling you what you're doing, and if what you're doing isn't helping you, do something else. Nothing can limit you. We're limitless.
Amen. I like that. So, please describe. So, obviously, you said you failed your maths,
Yes.
GCSE.
Yeah.
However, eventually you became a maths teacher.
Yes.
And then now you're a coach.
Absolutely.
So, just describe the journey for us, please.
Okay, yes. So when I failed mathematics, back then you could go into a job, jobs were 10 a penny. I didn't have any qualifications. I went down to the jobs station, job office, and they said, all the qualified jobs, they're over here, and for you, the unqualified ones are over there, take your pick. So I picked one, it was a messenger, and I did that for several years. Didn't like it because it was out in the cold most of the time. It's freezing cold, and I wanted to do something else. Didn't have any qualifications, and I went back there and they said, well, there's jobs as traffic warden. So I took a job as a traffic warden because no qualifications. I just took what was there.
Yeah.
I loved the job initially because you're out, but then when you're out in the freezing cold, it's not so good. And then in the summer, when it's boiling hot, it's also not so good. So I thought, what else can I do? And when you don't know yourself, then you just do anything.
Yeah.
And I saw another job, it was on a bus. And back then, buses had conductors, and it was a bus conductor. So I went along to the interview, and they said, mate, you were brilliant. I loved your English, but your maths is no good. It killed me. It honestly, I probably was at my lowest point ever because I thought I can't even get a job on a bus. It really hit me. But again, failure is your friend if you allow it to be your friend. Because I was open for anything then. And I went to a party with a friend of mine, and it wasn't a normal party where people are dancing and shouting. People are sitting around, they were talking, and conversation was everywhere. And I was 24 at the time. I looked around this room and I was flabbergasted because I was listening to young people, 17, 18, 19, really having committed debates, really understanding what they were talking about from a really deep level. And I said, well, you know, what are you guys doing? Most of them had just finished their A-levels, and some of them were on their way to university or in their first year at university. And that's when the penny dropped. I thought, wow, education, this is what it can do for you. They were so articulate.
Yeah.
I just went, I want me a piece of that. I went to college. The guy said, you're too old to do A-levels now. You need to now go and do a vocational course. So I went and did a course in basic engineering and it was all mathematics.
Okay.
And I fell in love with maths.
Wow.
Because you know what they say? They say when the student is ready,
Yeah.
when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Okay.
It was like a miracle. Numbers were just all over me. I really got on with numbers. I went to university, did a course in engineering. I didn't even like engineering, but I just loved the maths. So when I left, I thought, I don't want to practice that. And somebody said, why don't you be a teacher? I thought, wow, I can give back to the community, and also I can make some money from it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I loved it. The first 5 years, it was a roller coaster, rocking and rolling ride. I really enjoyed it. After the next 5 years, I suddenly realized that a couple of things. Firstly, I wasn't having the impact that I wanted to have with these children, because most of the time, most of my classes, there was mathematics teaching going on, but the most thing I recognized is they were like me when I was their age. They needed somebody to say, listen man, this is how you do it. This is the way it should be done. Almost to the point where it was about the mind more than about the maths. And even to this day, I'll get students who come back to me and I'll say, I'll never forget your teaching, sir. It was always brilliant. I always felt motivated. They never talk about the maths. And they go on and pass, but they never talk about the maths. They talk about how great it was to be in a lesson. The stories you used to tell, sir, they stay with me to this day. So I saw that there was something in what I was doing. And then the next thing I realized that I really wanted to own my own business and do things the way that I wanted to do them. So again, I went on this journey of going after business, after business, after business, and failing again, guys. It was everywhere.
Yes.
And it's funny actually, one of your speakers who I've listened to earlier on, he spoke about getting somebody to help you, getting a mentor or a coach. Everything changed when I hired a coach.
Yeah.
Everything. My life completely changed when I hired a coach. It really made sense. But that was the journey really, from no qualifications to qualifications into teaching, and then from failing in businesses to suddenly finding somebody who could actually give me, who allowed me to get to know me and then got out of the way and let me get on with it.
Wow. And so from finding a coach, how did you then decide to become a coach?
Okay, so my lovely darling wife, recognizing, I was really interested in the mind and the brain, and she bought me a course in something called NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And an element of that was about coaching, one of the weekends. And I thought, wow, I really like that. This is something I could do. So it was different from what I was doing before. I did a lot of network marketing and some traditional businesses, and none of them were working. But when I got into this, when I saw about how coaching could help people, and I thought, well, this is what I'm kind of what I'm doing at school with the kids, and I can do it with adults as well. And the fact that I'm a brilliant motivational speaker, I thought I could combine the two, and I could take it to the moon.
Yes.
To infinity and beyond.
Yes.
And it was so that's how it sort of came about.
Excellent. And now I know you have a successful coaching practice.
Yep.
So my question is, what kind of challenges would you say you've had to overcome in your current business as a coach, please?
Lovely. The biggest challenges are all to do with me. And I think most people, they don't recognize how we really get in our own way. Just the way we speak about the challenges that we face. Sometimes the way we phrase the challenge, the problem that we have, makes it more difficult for us to solve the thing. Like sometimes the questions I used to ask myself, really poor quality questions, like why is this always happening to me? Why can't I get ahead? Why can't I be rich? Why can't I be famous? All those really poor quality questions. And when I started speaking to my coach, and one of the first things he said was, you've got to start, speaking into what it is that you want. You have to speak into it. Right now, what you're speaking into is what you don't want. That's what you're going to get. So that was really useful. He did some other things as well. We do a lot of, he got me to really set goals, man. Set goals. Life is about setting goals. The way the brain works, it loves a goal. It will do whatever you tell it to do as long as you tell it. Most of the time we don't do that, so it will just do anything. And most of the time it does it negatively. And there's reasons for that. So set goals, record what you're doing, really important, and then have somebody hold you to account. Or even better, don't have them hold you to account, offer yourself up for accountability. Wow, that's powerful. That changes the game completely. Let me ask you this question. Do we as human beings, do we like to be right, or would you like to be wrong? What do we like to be? Right or wrong?
Everybody likes to be right.
Did you hear what she just said? Everybody likes to be right.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes.
So we don't like to be wrong, right?
No.
So if I'm holding you to account, let's say you're holding me to account and you set the goal for me. Now, if I ain't gonna make it, I'll find a way to be right. I'll try to find a way to weasel out of it.
Yeah.
But if I offer myself up to accountability to you, I don't want to be wrong. So I'm going to make sure that I do what I said I was going to do.
Sure.
That's how my coaching works. It's
Excellent.
really powerful.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Hold on to that one, guys. Get somebody to hold you to account, but don't. Get yourself to offer yourself up, rather, for accountability to somebody else. It's powerful.
It is powerful. And Mervyn, the last question is, what advice would you give to our viewers? Because they are watching this program because they want to discover their purpose.
Yes.
How can they go about discovering their purpose and walking in their full potential?
Lovely, 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 lovely. I love that. Two things. The first thing is that I truly believe that we're not created for purpose. You know, some of us, we hear, oh, God created us for a purpose. No, He created us for purpose, not for a purpose. We're built for purpose. We are purpose built for the earth. We can do anything. Anything. We're totally limitless. We can do anything. That's the first thing. And the second, did you get that? You are purpose built. You can do anything. The second thing is something that I got from Anthony Robbins. 4 steps: outcome, action, evaluate, modify. Keep doing that over and over again. Know your outcome. Evaluate what you're doing. Modify what you're doing. And if you haven't met your outcome, do it again. Keep going round in that fantastic, veritable, upwards inspiring loop, and you will eventually get what it is that you desire in life. Outcome, action, evaluate, modify. Over and over and over again. Thank you.
Wow, I don't think they will forget that.
No.
And Mervyn, I understand you offer free 30-minute coaching session.
No. Yes, it's more than I call it a freedom session.
Freedom session.
It's
that's
a
right.
free hours coaching, and I guarantee you some freedom in that session. I don't care what it is you're dealing with. I don't sound dismissive. I don't care what it is. I guarantee you some freedom in that hour. Call me. Connect with me. Don't go to websites and all that stuff. Call me. Feel it.
Mervyn, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Always blessing.
Thank you.
Thank you.